Okay, so hi everyone. Thank you for being here. I'm Zoe, and thank you, Maya and Liat, for holding this space. And thank you for showing up for this moment where I thought it was really important and really powerful to talk about and really connect to a sense of pleasure. And it's often hard when times are hard to connect to pleasure. It's often something that feels like it's an extracurricular. And there's this like sense of like guilty pleasure. Like there's guilt when we feel pleasure, when we feel joy, when we let ourselves smile or laugh or appreciate or be in gratitude. And um, today is an invitation to step forward into it and reconnect to the spark of pleasure and to feel it and sense it and own it and lounge in it and know that it's always available to us, even when we feel disconnected, even when we feel low, even when the days are dark, that there's always this thread of pleasure that's alive in our bodies if we choose to connect it. So tonight I'll take you on a little journey into your body. And I'll also invite you to have a notebook and pen beside you for a little writing exercise at the end. Cool. All right, so let's get started. If you want to have your videos on, I would love to see your faces. If not, that's also completely okay. And whatever you need to do to make yourself as comfortable as possible in this moment is the invitation. So anyone who's joining, just you're welcome to feel wherever you are. Connect to your chair, connect to your couch, connect to whatever is touching your skin, what clothes you're wearing, and just start feeling where you are. Feeling your feet on the ground, feeling your bum on the chair, feeling your back. There's no need to be still here. So if you need to make some tiny adjustments and stretch out your shoulders or roll your neck or readjust your feet or put a pillow on your back, the invitation today is to connect with whatever feels good for you. So if you showed up and all you want to do is put your head down on the desk, you can also do that too. Whatever brings you that sense of pleasure, I'm going to guide you, but the invitation is to listen to yourself and follow whatever feels good for you. So we're arriving, we're landing in our bodies, feeling our backs against the couch, trying to feel whatever material is on our skin. Just noticing the little touches that are meeting your body. Noticing your face, what's happening with your face. Do you feel tension? Can you let your jaw drop? Can you let your eyes drop? Can you let your tongue fall? Can you let your forehead relax? Just connecting with your breath, noticing the quality of it. If your eyes are closed, paying attention to the darkness of the lids behind your eyes. If your eyes are open, letting them fall gently, letting your gaze get a little bit blurry. And letting yourself full body exhale here. So fully breathing into your belly, and full body exhale is like a big dirty sigh when we just let everything from our day go. So inhale, let your belly rise and expand. And when we exhale, exhale all the way out, letting out any sounds, a big dirty sigh. And again, filling your body with oxygen, and on the exhale, till the end of your exhale. Just creating space in your system, nowhere else to be but here. And we'll do that one more time. A big dirty sigh, a deep inhale, bringing it all up, feeling it, all the oxygen entering your body and your tummy expand. And then exhale and let everything go. Let your voice fall away. Stretching your mouth, stretching your neck, stretching whatever is asking to be stretched. So letting your body move, those tiny impulses that you're receiving from your body, follow them. Let them lead you. There's no reason to be still. The invitation here is to listen to those tiny things that our body is yearning for, is calling for, is asking for us. So maybe it's a hand on the heart, or maybe it's shaking a leg or shaking your hands, whatever it is. The invitation is to continue following those movements and listening to yourself and doing whatever it means to feel good. For the next few breaths, I want to invite us to pay attention to our belly and our pelvic floor. So where our root, where our pelvic floor muscle meets the seats, just really taking notice what's going on in our pelvic floor. Noticing if there's tension or tightness, and just being with that for a moment. Noticing if there's release or expansion. Maybe placing our hands on our pelvic floor, on our lower belly, to just connect with this space. This is the seat of our pleasure. This is where our creative juice starts to be squeezed. This is where our feminine spark lives. This is where we get turned on to life. This is where we feel alive. So maybe you feel like moving your hips, or moving around, or just breathing a little bit more deeply and trying to release this space just a little bit. Whatever you need to do that feels good. So maybe it's adjusting how you're sitting, or taking a few more deep breaths, or letting your pelvic floor release for a beat. And moving our hands up from our bellies to the top of our heads, we're going to rest our hands really gently on our heads and just start connecting our fingertips to our scalp in a really sweet, soft, gentle, loving way. Our hands hold so much power to heal, and so much love, and so much pleasure. The invitation here is just to start really softly and gently, just massaging and touching and exploring our heads in a way that feels really good for us. The kind of touch that we've been craving, that we wish someone would do to us, is what we're doing to ourselves right now. Really softly, really slowly, really lovingly. And if our hands just want to sit on the top of our heads because that's what feels good, that's also okay. But throughout this practice, I'm going to ask you to start in your own time and space, just dripping your fingertips down your body. So you're going to be moving your fingertips over your forehead, your ears, your eyes, touching every crevice that is asking for touch, and touch that feels really good and really sweet and really just full of love, feeling our hands just full of love and touching ourselves in a way that feels full of love and that feels really good. No rush to get anywhere, just taking our time, touching everything that's asking for some kind of feeling. Maybe massaging out our jaw a little bit because it's tight. Maybe running our fingertips over our lips just because we can and we haven't done this for a while. Letting our fingertips drip down our neck, our chest, our shoulders, and moving at our own speed and touching ourselves in a way that feels really good and nourishing. Letting any sounds out that you want to come out. Letting your hands explore each other. What does it feel like for our hands to feel one another? Moving our way all the way down our bodies, our chests, our bellies. Massaging our sacral area, our hips, our thighs, our knees, our calves. Letting our hands go all the way down to our feet, if that's what feels good. Our toes, the bottoms of our feet. And if you don't find yourself in that comfortable position to do that, then do whatever feels good to you right now. Using your hands, using your touch, using the tiny movements that you can make with your body. Just following whatever feels yummy and delicious and full of pleasure. Again, making any sounds that want to come out, letting yourself exhale, letting go of any stale air that's alive in your system. And once you reach your feet, you're going to work your way back up and you're going to do the back of your body. You're going to make sure that you're touching everything that wants to be touched, that your hands are running over anything that feels good. Maybe it's just placing your hands on your heart and giving your heart a little massage. Oh, and breathing and letting yourself just be in this moment. and letting your fingertips meet your body and just really being connected to the simple pleasure of this. Working your way all the way back up, not forgetting your shoulders, your neck. Following exactly what feels good for you. Because this is all that we can do. And we always have the power to tune in and feel these tiny little pleasures at the tips of our fingers, working our way up our scalp again. Letting our hands just rest over our eyes, on our face. Taking a moment to let everything fall and see if you can just let go a little bit more here. Let yourself get a little bit heavier here. Just enjoy this moment with yourself. Can you let yourself rest here for this moment? Can you thank yourself for showing up here? Can you bring a tiny smile to your face or to your heart? And just tune into everything that feels good right now. When you feel ready, really slowly letting your eyes drop, giving yourself a squeeze, a hug, taking a deep breath and letting it run down your whole body. Taking the next few moments to just tune in to what feels really good right now. Being proud of yourself for showing up again for yourself. Doing something good for yourself and your body and your heart. And just noticing how you feel now versus how you felt when you first showed up. Just noticing if there's just a little teeny tiny difference. And anchoring that into yourself. And knowing that you always have these 10 power tools, these 10 fingertips. And sometimes when our body is asking for attention, all we need to do is be there for ourselves. When it comes to pleasure, it's all about our senses. So just taking a moment to tune in to anything that you're smelling, anything that's alive in your nose. Anything that you're tasting. Just noticing the taste that's in your mouth right now. Or thinking about a taste that you cannot wait to put in your mouth soon. Noticing any sounds that are around you in your room or the silence. And when you feel ready, you can gently open your eyes. And before making your way back to the screen, I want to invite you to just find something wherever you are that feels really good to look at. Find something that you can rest your eyes on that brings you a sense of pleasure. And just be with whatever that is for the moment. I'd love to hear from maybe one or two people how that was for you. And then I also want to offer a short writing exercise if there's time. Does anyone have anything that they'd like to share? Very relaxing. Yes.
אני יכולה להגיד בעברית?
כן, בבקשה.
היי, נעים להכיר. היה ממש נעים לעשות את זה וכאילו להתחבר לשקט. פתאום הכל כזה רגוע יותר ונורא, אני מרגישה שממש ההתחלה שנכנסתי לזה נורא אחרת ממה שאני מרגישה עכשיו. וזה גם עזר לי, כאילו פתאום קפצו לי רעיונות בראש שלא חשבתי עליהם קודם, שאני עושה איזה עבודה עכשיו, וזה ככה עזר.
יופי, תודה אורלי.
תודה לך.
It's pretty amazing what happens when we let ourselves be in the empty space or in the silence. What tends to fill it is like our truth and our creativity and our sparks. And it's hard to do these days because we're running in our minds so often. So thank you for showing up.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anyone else want to share anything? Otherwise, I'll leave you with this tiny writing exercise that you can take with you. And it's just something that you'll have to look at to remind you that pleasure is always available. Okay? So get out your pens and papers. And like I mentioned, pleasure is something that we live, that lives in our senses, right? We bite into like a juicy orange and it's the best orange we've ever tasted. And that's when we're like, and our body comes alive. So the invitation is to write down 5 tastes that bring you pleasure. 5 tastes that bring you pleasure. And not just like yum, but like that, like I love that this thing is in my mouth kind of pleasure. Next, 5 smells or aromas that bring you pleasure. So maybe it's that morning cup of coffee and that cinnamon stick that you put in. Maybe it's a specific perfume that you wear and you save for special occasions. Maybe it's someone cooking something. What are 5 smells that bring you pleasure? Next is 5 sounds that bring you pleasure. So maybe it's a baby laughing, or a certain song, or a certain type of music. What are 5 sounds that bring you pleasure? Next up is 5 sights. 5 things that you love to see that brings you pleasure. So maybe it's a sunset, or a specific color, or something in your home that you love so much and you love looking at. 5 sights that bring you pleasure. And finally, 5 touches. So this could go one of 2 ways. It could be 5 touches, like where are 5 places on your body that you love to be touched? Or it could be like things that you love to touch. What are 5 things that you love to touch? So maybe it's a specific kind of material. Maybe it's like silk or a velvet, or maybe it's a certain stone or crystal that you have. What are 5 things that really bring you pleasure when you touch them? And your invitation is to keep this list somewhere where you can see it. And whenever you can, and whenever you feel the need to connect to pleasure, is to follow one of those things. Smell that smell. Go make yourself whatever that taste was. Put on that song that brings you pleasure. Wear that dress that feels so yummy and delicious. And to just every day do these tiny, simple things that connect us to our sense of pleasure every day. And if anyone, we have a couple more minutes left. So if anyone wants to share any of the things that came up for them, I would love to hear it. And otherwise, I really, really thank you. And I'm really grateful. And I hope that you carry this with you. And yeah, anyone want to share any of the things that brought them pleasure before we go?
אני אשמח לשתף.
Ken.
נגיד ב5 צלילים שאני אוהבת, אז רשמתי צליל של מפל מים נשפכים, כאילו
Hmm.
גלי הים, האוקיינוס, קערות טיבטיות או תדרים, אז זה גם אני לא אגיד לא, זה מאוד מרגיע. ורשמתי את הקול של הילד שלי,
Hmm.
שהוא באזור, שאני שומעת אותו, שהוא זה, ומוזיקת אמביאנס, צ'יל, כל הדבר הזה.
Amazing.
5 מחזות או מראות, שקיעה, זריחה, גשם שוטף, ירח מלא ושדות ירוקים, נראה לי.
Amen. It's a full moon tonight. Don't forget to look outside. תודה, אורלי.
תודה לך.
Liat
ולמאיה,
says,
כל הפעם.
Liat says, I will need to live in a candy store. I'm with you, Liat. Okay, so yeah, Maya, go ahead. You want to close
Yeah,
us off?
after the minute, some of the things that stood out for me was sounds like my daughter's breathing when she sleeps. She's gonna hate that I said that. Just to hear her breath, like just so cozy. And Christmas music. Anyway, but music at Christmas, it makes me feel cozy. Yeah. So anyway, thank you. So this is really helpful. תודה לכולם. The Zoom is going to end. אני אשלח את ההקלטה. מומלץ שתפיצו את זה גם לחברות, חברים. Yes. Also smell for my kids' breath. לי. לא רק לשמוע להריח בבוקר. I'm like, weird. 13. אז תודה, so again. Thank you so much, ותודה לכל מי שהצטרפה, אתם אלופות, איך אתם מקפידות, כל הכבוד לכם, באמת.
תודה.
מחר
ביי.
לכם יוגה, נשלח לכם. ביי אהובות, thank you זו.
ביי מאיה.
ביי.